Before we begin, I request everyone to please keep your mobile phone in silent mode. Thank you for your cooperation. Devam Nirmala Spatikate Adharam Sarva Vidyana Hayagreva Upasma. Lord Hayagreva is not He all knowledge. We go to that Lord. Good morning, to present here. I am Anjula, coordinator of Department of Management, and my fellow colleague Pushpa and Associate Professor, Department of Commerce, will be the host for today's conference. I extend a very warm welcome to all the here and all the participants in person and virtually, my fellow colleagues and student representatives. It's a privilege to welcome you all for this National Conference on Digital India Opportunities and Challenges. Jain College is a part of Jain Group of Institutions and has been steadily paving its way towards excellence since 2011. It believes that education is the only way to improve greater heights with righteous thinking. As we at Jain perfection. Today's conference throws a light on global market is under transformation due to digital technology. Customers and products can now be reached and sold in new ways due to the advancement in digital technology. It gives a consumer the ability to explore any product at any time from any location. This is a rapidly evolving arena where today's technology is obsolete tomorrow. For business to remain competitive in today's market, company must be innovative in their outreach activities. As per the report of Internet and Mobile Association of India and the Market Research Bureau, India has the second largest base of Internet users worldwide, with 450 to 465 million Internet users and the fastest growing in terms of incremental growth. This has a significant impact on Indian market. New guidelines for attracting, engaging, and retaining Indian customers are being developed. In this connection, J College hosting today's national level conference on opportunities and challenges to provide an opportunity for researchers, academicians, students, and professionals to meet, interact, and exchange new research ideas. The conference also provides podium to deliberate upon the pertaining to rapidly evolving digital world. Jyotisha Vardhate Buddhi The light increases intelligentsia, light gets rid of ignorance. Light is light is the cause to receive the blessings of the God. Now I request all the dignitaries to proceed towards lighting of the lamp. And I request Aditi to sing inaugural song. I request all of you to rise for
अध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणपण्डिताय गुणेशाणाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि गानचतुराय गानप्राणाय गानान्तरात्मने गानोत्सुकाय गानमत्ताय गानोत्सुकमनसे गुरुपूजिताय गुरुदैवताय गुरुकुलस्थायिने गुरुविक्रमाय गुह्यप्रवराय गुरवे गुणगुरवे गुरुदैत्यकलच्छेत्रे गुरुधर्म सदा राजाय गुरुपुत्र परत्रात्रे गुरुपाखण्ड खण्डकाय गीतसाराय गीततत्त्वाय गीतगोत्राय धीमहि गूढगुल्फाय गन्धमत्ताय गोचरप्रदाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशाणाय बालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
thank you, dignitaries and Aditi. Now I request all the dignitaries to unveil the conference banner. And now I request dignitaries and everyone to watch a short video on digital significance. I request technical team to play a video on digital significance. Thank you, dignitaries, and thank you, technical team. Now, now I would like to request Dr. Archana Ambekar, coordinator of PG department, to formally welcome the gathering. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am bestowed upon the honor of all, welcoming all of you for this two-day multidisciplinary national conference on digital India opportunities and challenges. It is such an exhilarating experience to see all the dignitaries gracing the occasion, and all of you who have gathered here for the conference at the prestigious Jain College Vastu campus. It is a great pleasure to welcome all the dignitaries, my colleagues, the delegates to this conference. To begin with, I would like to welcome our Honorable Chancellor, Jain Dean to the University, Dr. Chainraj Royston, in absentia, seeking his everlasting blessing and guidance. I would like to extend my welcome to Dr. Keshava, who will be joining us any moment. I would continue welcoming the keynote speaker of the day. I would like Naveen sir to welcome Dr. Sajjan Matthews, who is a professor at Business School, Alliance University, and the former dean of Alliance University, as well as the former registrar of examination and evaluation, Alliance University. Next, I would like to welcome our guest of honor, Professor K.N. Godamani, and request Naveen sir to present the sapling and welcome Godamani ma'am. Godamani ma'am is the former academic council member of Bangalore City University. I would now like Naveen sir to welcome Shri Ravindra Bhandari ji, who is presiding the conference. I extend my heartfelt welcome to Shri Bhandari ji, who is always there present, motivating and inspiring us to carry on such programs. I would request Vasant sir to welcome Dr. S.N. Natraj, who is the Principal PU Jain College, Bangalore. I would request Parmeshwar sir to welcome I would also like to welcome our leader, Conference Director, Principal, Dr. Naveen Kumar CM. I would request Pushpa ma'am, HOD of the Commerce UG Department, to welcome Naveen sir by giving him a sample. Ladies and gentlemen, this today multidisciplinary national conference on digital India opportunities and challenges is being streamed online. We have more than 200 participants who have joined on the virtual platform and are participating in this inauguration program. I would like Parmeshwar sir to welcome K.M. Mahesh Kumar sir. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome all the teaching and the non-teaching staff of Jain College. I would request all of them to support in the successful completion of the conference. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am. Nitin Namjo, one side. You are curious, you learn. Next is postgraduate in Sir is the author of Managerial Economics, Business Economics, GST, Personality Development for undergrad courses. articles and participated in several national and state level conferences. Sir, I request you to please take over.
Respected Vice President of Jain Groups of Institution, Sri Ravindra Bhandari, sir. University's first days of national conference, Dr. Sajan Mathew, sir. Respected academic council member of Bangalore City University, Professor K.N. Godam, respected Dr. Mitra, sir, Satyanarayan, sir, K. Mahesh, sir, Dr. Ashwini, the theme what we selected for this 2 days national conference. I think this wonderful academic dedication. So thank you so much for all the people who are there. And of course, the chief guest of this today's national level conference probably will join at any time. We had a discussion to have a 2 days national conference on some burning topics. Probably the moment the title says Digital India, opportunities and challenges. Maybe you'd be thinking why this Digital India, which was initiated during 2015, now it is being taken as the theme for the national conference. In fact, when I was just visualizing, I was under the impression when the Digital India program was initiated by the central government with a huge, as a dream project, to have that digital connectivity in the rural areas and to bring the digital transparency and also to have digital connectivity and also there will be a smooth governance on the part of the. But when it was introduced, many experts had their own views. They said India is not ready to take this. India's country is not ready to take this digital revolution. I'm talking about the scenario of 2015. Of course, we had a poor infrastructure. You go with rural, the rural areas as such. The internet connectivity was a big issue. But when I was just visualizing by government of India, central government, to came with so many programs, so many awareness programs to initiate that digitalization has an advantage which can bring transparency to the economy. In this backdrop, central government itself actually promoted so many opportunities for the people to take this. And during that particular point of time, what was the real challenge? The real challenge was poor infrastructure. I'm talking about digital infrastructure. Digital illiteracy was one major thrust. So taking this into the scenario, I was just thinking like pre-COVID and post-COVID, there is a total change. The change was digital illiteracy, which were one of the main drawbacks of 2015 policy initiation. But after demonetization, when government took the step of demonetizing, there was no other go. They want to bring in the transparency in the economy. They wanted to have digital transaction. They promoted digital transaction. But icing on the cake happened when COVID-19. We say that necessity is the mother of all invention. People who said digital illiteracy, today even an illiterate person who is called a suburb, whether he have an app, whether transaction can happen. So we were of the opinion that opportunities and challenges prior to 2015 and after COVID, there is total change. Opportunities and challenges. Today, what are the challenges? Today, the challenges as far as digitalization or the digital India, what we are talking, probably I can talk about cybercrime, false transfer, fake. People are talking on this note. There is total change, transformation. So when we have the discussion, probably this is one of the apt topic to be taken, and that's one of the reasons today we have this 2 days national level conference. We want, it is not only digitalization was basically which was taken to trade and commerce. Today it's not so. COVID-19 it made every sector to use online education became one of the prerequisite for almost all higher education institutions. So this was the main idea that why this 2 days national conference on that topic, where the opportunities and challenges changed by itself. And this probably we wanted to bring in a 2 days national level conference, and I'm happy that there are more than 115 papers, and out of which 70% has opted for online because of Omicron fear. But still, I appreciate Department of Postgraduate Studies for their effort in bringing this more than 158 papers on, and it's amazing work. I think appreciation has to be extended to the entire PG department, supported by PG faculty section. As I'm sure these 2 days conference will have a very good academic deliberation, and I'm sure all the delegates are eagerly waiting to present their papers. All the very best for the students, students as well as faculties who are presenting their papers as such. Welcome to all the jury members who have taken the precious time to be a part of this national conference, and I'm sure this will be one of the best conferences to have. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. May I now request Professor Pushpa N to take over the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, all. Moving further, we have amongst us Dr. A.N. Godamani, former Academic Council member, Bengaluru City University. I request Professor Shruti to introduce our guest of honor to the gathering.
Good morning, everybody. It's my immense pleasure to introduce K.N. Godamani. Professor K.N. Godamani did her education in Mysuru, BSc from Maharani Science College, and MSc in Botany from Manasa Gangotri, Mysuru. Godamani ma'am worked as professor of botany in different government colleges, which came under collegiate education in Karnataka, and retired as professor of botany from Maharani Science College, Bengaluru. She taught microbiology and biotechnology subjects also. When she was working in Government Science College, Bengaluru, well-known famous politicians like Sri Ramesh Kumar, Sri Ramalinda Reddy, and Sri Revanna were her students. Thousands of her students are legends, working as professors, doctors, engineers, IAS, IFS, and IPS officers, scientists in India and other countries. She worked as Vice President for Karnataka Government Education and worked for the fraternity of the college teachers. Government of Karnataka has nominated her as Academic Council member for Bengaluru City University in the year 2018. She is also Governing Council member for various separate colleges like Sheshadripuram College, National College, SPN, JC, etc. Her husband, Dr. D. Gopalakrishna, also a professor of geology, earth science, and retired as principal from Government College, Hoskote. We welcome you, ma'am, and over to you.
Meanwhile, I request that we welcome Keshwar sir, Chief of State Council. Bandai sir. One more. Let me also welcome Dr. Gopal Krishna sir, who is here. So I request Netta sir to give him the sample. So thank you so much for taking your precious time, sir. Vidyarambam Kadishyam Siddhar Bhavatu Me Sada. Good dignitaries on the dais, of the dais and dear participants. Digital India is an initiative taken by the government of India to provide high-speed into government services available. India campaign was launched by our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji on 1st July 2015, which focused on three key visions like providing digital infrastructure, enabling government services on demand, and provide digital empowerment to citizens. Some of the informative initiatives that we are all familiar with includes digital e-hospital, Pathshala, etc. We all must be proud to know that on the platform of digital adoption, India ranks top 2 countries globally, and digital
Professor of Economics, Bangalore, Chairman, Economics, Bengaluru City University. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce our chief guest, Dr. S.R. Keshava, who is a professor of economics at PG Department of Economics, Bengaluru University. At present, he is a technical committee member of Karnataka Evaluation Authority. Dr. Keshava has an MA, MPhil, and a PhD degree in economics and MBA, MPhil degree in management. He is specialized in development, public, and Indian economics. Sir is a well-received teacher, researcher, and a panelist on economic issues in television channels. He has written 9 books and edited 3. He has presented more than 200 research papers in national and international seminars and has delivered more than 200 invited addresses, which also include sessions at human resource development centers of various universities. Sir has successfully guided 1 postdoctorate, doctoral, and 6 PhDs and 24 MPhil students to their degree. Sir has rich administrative experience also, where he began his career as an assistant director of Directorate of Economics and Statistics during the year 97 and 98, and then as special officer of evaluation, Bangalore University during 2015 and 16, director of Gandhian Studies, Bangalore University from December 2017 to June 2018, director of Central Placement Cell, Bangalore University from 2016 till date. Sir has worked as a chairman, member, reviewer, subject expert, and an invitee of various committees, including selection committee of different universities and state government bodies. Sir, now I request you to address the
A warm good morning to all of you. Sorry for being late. I was in that with my health reasons for the morning. Respected Pandari sir, my fellow colleague and speaker of the day, Sergeant Matthew, Godamani madam, and once my student and today the principal of this college, Naveen. Natas sir is the college principal, my good friend is also there, all other dignitaries and participants, student friends. Indeed, very happy to be here. Whenever Naveen calls me, despite whatever it is, I once say, okay, yes, I'm there. Because of the intimacy between me and him, and of course, even when Natasha was always at 100, and even when Saras, and along with the training college, hospitality also adds to that. And much of it, Godamani madam was told, when she has told Jane itself, I do not have to tell anything about that. So India is celebrating the Azadi Ki Mahotsav. It's almost 75 years of India's independence. Probably if you see the journey that which we have traveled, when on the eve of India's independence, what was the literacy? Student friends, any guess? It was barely 16% was the literacy at that point of time. Female literacy was 7%. And the poverty was around 6.8%. 80% of them depended on the agriculture for the livelihood. And even IMR, check on any macroeconomic indicator or health indicators, India was doing very badly at that point of time. So British did came for India because India was Sone ki Chudiya. But by the time they left, it was almost very bright. So from there, they are today speaking of digital India. The journey traveled in the Azadi Ka Mahotsav, right, since 47 to 2021 is not that small. But that doesn't mean that we have traveled enough also. When you compare ourselves with other countries which got independence along with us, say China, which got independence 2 years after India, and South Korea, which got independence 1 year after India, almost on the same day. When you compare that, we have few. But when we speak of today's digital India? Many things definitely have happened. When we speak of 123 crore other beneficiaries or subscribers, whatever you call it, 120 mobile, 120 crore mobile phones are there in this country. So still, 26% of India is in poor. That's what the Niti Aayog also, the last week's report is saying. Out of 138 crores, 26 crores are poor, means it is more than 35 crores. In such a situation, when we are speaking of digital India, I really feel very delighted and happy. Not just because, speaking itself of digital India means everything. Because India, if at all, if it has to reclaim its position, because once, almost 38% of the GDP of the world was contributed by India till 12th century. 38% of the GDP was contributed by India. But after that, what happened, all of us know. But today, when we are speaking of the digital India, basically it means power to empower. Power to empower what? Power to empower the common man, or power to empower against the duality. So these are the questions which always looms large when I speak of digital India. When the question of digital India comes, even initially, when it was started way back in 2011 and after that in 2015. Why I say 2011? Because for the first time, the cable network to connect the entire India was proposed in 2011. But after that, in 2015, when it happened in a large scale, then many of the economists, many of the thinkers started saying, okay, now it is the real inclusive growth which is happening in India. Either you call it inclusive growth or Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas. Definitely, it will happen if digital India happens in this country in the true face. Digital India saves time, it saves energy, it brings in transparency, it brings in honesty, it brings in almost the best of everything. And another important thing is, in this country, the major problem is corruption, red tapeism, and dependency. These things can be easily sorted out with digital India. When I say that, some of you may also ask me, how exactly, whenever you speak on any platform, you cannot say only that as a solution for everything. For when the FDI in retail came, even government was saying it's a solution for everything. It's a solution for farm prices, it's a solution for India's growth, everything is there now. But when you speak of digital India, it is not just that. Digital India, when we speak of the digital India, we're speaking of digital infrastructure, we are speaking of digital delivery of services, we are speaking of digital literacy also. When we say digital literacy, how many of us really digital literate? That's the one question that which all of us should ask for ourselves. I'll come to it in some time from now. But here the major focus, right? The major focus is providing utility. When we say providing utility, probably some of you at least, my sir sitting in the first two rows, which been knowing this, also is here. In 60s and 70s, we were discussing on India versus Bharat. Because there are two Indias, one in rural India, which was called as Bharat, and the other India was called as India at that point of time. Then also there was haves and have-nots. Even now, Ravi Shankar in this recent report also speaks of the same haves and have-nots. But here, when the issue comes, digital utility to everyone, then utility to everyone is most important, the quote unquote everyone. When we speak of common man, right? Only the true digital India will happen. Otherwise, digital India for many of us may be carrying iPhone without knowing what features it really have. Then it doesn't make any sense. This is what Amartya calls as unless and until people have capabilities, right? Capabilities. Then there is no point in having these type of programs. Most importantly, whenever we speak of digital India, providing digital utility, digital India's utility to everybody. So if at all, if you really had to provide utility to everyone, then digital literacy becomes much important. So how to provide? Probably all of us can join hands with the government in doing so. And then digital empowerment of the services. When you speak of digital empowerment of the services, it can happen only in case. It can happen only when the digital literacy is in place. And in case if you really have digital literacy, and if you don't have the digital infrastructure in place, again it will be a thing. So three important things. One is digital literacy, another one is digital utility to everybody, digital infrastructure, all should take place. Then of course, all of you are aware of one more fact. Government is speaking of 9 pillars of digital India. So in that, the main concentration is on that. How to make digital India access to everyone. So that's the reason that why they speak of broadband highways, universal access to mobile connectivity. They speak of public internet access program. Probably many of us, right, when the COVID-19 first wave came and the university asked us to go in for the online classes, that was the toughest task. Many of the students did not have the mobile connectivity. Even if they had, they did not have the internet connection. Many of them had gone back to their villages. When we used to do the classes, and when we used to ask them some questions, they never used to answer. Many of the students never used to answer. Probably there was no training of how to answer. And even I remember one of my colleagues, who are not naming it, when he was asked to take the class, he just asked us, what to be done. Then we said, you download the Zoom app, then you can do it. So he downloaded the app, and then fine, next day onwards, he started taking the class also. Then after 2 or 3 days, when students complained, this class is not going on, then the chairperson in the group, the meeting, again Zoom meeting, which was happening, he did not appear. And we called him, and he said, no, I'm taking classes every day at the scheduled time of the timetable around 11:30, but I'm not seeing anybody. The major reason was he did not know that he has to send the link to everybody. Only after that, students will join. He thought, once downloading the app, it means that he can just press it and keep on delivering his lecture. So these type of situations is there with the PhD holders. That's what I'm saying. And with the 3 or 4 decades of teaching experience, not the youngsters like Navi. It was with the 4 or 5. It was very 4 decades of teaching experience. There was no surprise. And even another point when we speak of this, when we did the seminar through online, because then it was inevitable. So we did ask the questions. We did say the questions. At least this time, you should come. Your face should be visible to us. Right? You should not just unmute, but you should also unmute your video. You should also do. Then fine. Some of them used to be there on even. I'm saying the fact I'm not exaggerating the things. They were almost near the hills or standing below the tree, or sometimes even on the tree. And when we were asking them why are you sitting there, then they were saying only in our village we get this area, we get the tower. So that's the reason that why. And these type of cases are also there. So when we speak of digital India, 3 important things, if at all if it happens, only then a true digital India can happen. And speak of governance, right? Governance, much of the good things have already happened. So happening. And in total, if all these things happen, really it will be governance, which is e-Kranti in real terms, Kranti, right? In real terms, it will be a Kranti. And wherein jobs will also be created, not just in the IT sector, it will be created in almost all other sectors too. And what are the major impacts that which we're already seeing is, speak of the post office connectivity or Gram Panchayats which are connected now. In case if it had really happened, since 2011, probably by 2020 or the first wave of COVID, it would have been in much better position. But unfortunately, that did not happen. Anyhow, better late than never. Now we are in the full swing, and India's GDP is about to reach $1 trillion because of the boost of the digital India by 2025. It should happen in 2022. But unfortunately, this COVID took India back to 2 years. So this is the reason that why, at least they have just said government has just now fixed the target of 2025 for this. Another crucial thing, when we are speaking of power to empower in real sense, right? Power to empower in real sense. Really, it will happen, right? Really, it will happen. Earlier, probably even when we were students, right? When we were students, collecting the mass card itself was one big task. And another important task was getting it xeroxed. Many times there was no Xerox facility at that time. Even if it was there, it was very costly. Then when we used to take in, copies from the guested officer, right? They used to say, okay, this was the marks of this candidate at that point of time. And then preserving the marks card. In case if it is lost, then we were also lost. Again, police station. Huge amount of things, almost we, some of friends used to feel, okay, fine, because lost is lost, I cannot grow like this. So many such things, today, such things are not there with the digital India because it has become very friendly, right? It has been really empowering the common man, right? Empowering the common man, empowering the students, empowering the farmers, employing the government servants, employing the teachers, right? Empowering the students, empowering the students. So it is empowering everybody. So that is the beauty of this, the digital of which the madam also spoke. That will take care of your mass cards, like other documents, official documents that which we have to preserve. It will be just recent authentication also is done. And no longer, of course, government also did good thing, in asking us to go in for self-attestation instead of this also. And another thing is about the e-hospitals. E-hospitals in the way of COVID-19, doctors also, many a time they refused to see the patients. All these things happen, whether it's ethical, unethical, it's a different issue. But now in the e-hospitals, there's a direct connectivity between the patient and the doctor, right? And this entire history is available to the doctor. You not have to explain even, say, a patient, you cannot keep on asking, what's the medical history, all these things. But here in the e-hospitals like ones with the link it, everything is also connected there. And now they're also trying to link it with the Aadhaar and all of the medical records. Many other things also will come in over there. But again, I will speak of the other phase of it in the meanwhile. And another important thing is, when we're speaking of e-Pathshala, probably for the teachers, that is really a good thing that which has happened. And only, even recently, when I was speaking of NEET exams, like an interview for one of the media houses, we were speaking of the practicality of the NEET because Tamil Nadu said it is about to ban the NEET exams, it doesn't need all this, and so because of that controversy. But here, imagine some companies like Baiju, right? Baiju, Akash, if they are doing so good, right? If they are doing so good, then if at all if the government comes up with such a website, right? Comes up with the website and takes the lectures, right? Takes the lectures from all of us. All the teachers can contribute. And the students at any point of time can download it or can view it on the YouTube. Makes a lot of sense. And even all the textbooks, like CBSE also uploaded all the textbooks on the e-Pathshala. And even many of the modules, like the boot courses also is a part of this. And you have almost, lectures on every topic that which you wish to listen for. And even teachers will also be benefited, students also will be benefited because of this. And of course, BMAP, right? I was many a times telling, much before demonetization, if all these things had happened, then demonetization would have been successful. If BMAP had come much before demonetization, if this Digital India initiatives would have been much more in strength, much before demonetization, then probably would have seen much better results of the demonetization. And all of us are aware of the BMAP also, the amount of good things it is doing, and e-healthcare, right? And getting quality services. Earlier, even I do remember when I used to pay the property tax or even income tax for that matter. I used to consult a chartered accountant, all the things like that. Today, I really don't need a chartered accountant. I'm calculating on my own. It has become so easy. All these initiatives is because of this Digital India. And even getting services also is becoming Sakala is there. It's all because of this. And Bhumi, probably many of you have forgotten the state government which started it almost 1.5 decades back, like eBhumi, right? Bhumi program. Because of which Tatas and all, wherein villages earlier used to roam to the Tahsildar offices, the review offices, n numbers. Now, you click to fair movement, they are getting it. It's all because of this. So, despite all these good advantages, there are certain challenges. I'm not saying there are no challenges. E-healthcare has come. Recently I was diagnosed with sleep disc, and I was also contacting many doctors, and some of the doctors are so well versed, and I can just take their appointments. They came online, right? They came online, asked me to try and walk right on the screen. I was doing it from there. They were diagnosed, and it was almost similar to what even when I consulted the ARCO physically also. The similar kind of diagnostics he did even online. So such wonderful things are happening in this country, for which really hats off to the initiatives of Digital India. Where, in case if you ask me, tell me in one line, there are the opportunities for Digital India, then I will definitely say opportunities are there in every sector, every household, every individual, right? Every individual is an opportunity. For the individual also, for the system also. That's the reason that why $1 trillion boost will be definitely getting out of this because of this Digital India. So then what are the major challenges? Right? And any good things also comes with the challenges, like some threats. It is quite common. So what are the major challenges of the Digital India? The major challenge is digital literacy. First important thing is digital literacy. Many of us, right, including me, I can include myself also. If you're not well versed, right, if you're not well versed with what technology is available, how to use it, then there is no point in it. We may be literate. Are we digital literates? Or, in the case of financial inclusion also, it has been narrowed down to just opening an account. Financial inclusion is not just opening an account. Many of us don't think, okay, if I have an account, then I'm financially included. Similarly, in case of digital literacy, also we feel, okay, if you have a mobile phone, smartphone, then fine, I'm also part. It's not just like that. So we should be able to understand what all it consists of, how I can utilize this. Right? From the small services to the large services, I can definitely utilize the digital India services. And another crucial thing is the internet speed, right? The internet speed. So that will also be a major challenge in this country. Now the prices may have come down again, it is going up. So that is another challenge. So when you say it has come down, and when I say 120 crore mobile phone connections are there, it is just with 60 crore population probably. So there is an issue. How to see that the 60 crore into 130 crore is 120. And at least each village should be having one Wi-Fi hotspot, wherein the people can just assemble over there. And all these are the crucial issues that which are the major challenge for this country. Then availability of the skilled manpower to utilize this as well as to facilitate this. If there isn't a skilled manpower, then they can facilitate us. Otherwise, again, it is another problem. And the resources required for this, right? Resources required for this. Government has almost spent around 1 lakh crores on Digital India. But here, little more resources are required. So whether it's a PPP mode or even for the individual also, the capital. If the MSME wants to be shifting over to the Digital India initiative, then it has to invest. So it requires capital. So think about the traditional village industries, khadi industries, how exactly they can utilize the Digital India service. Then they require capital, right? They require investment. That's also another very important. And even the most that we say Digital India has to reduce corruption by initiating the Digital India initiatives, red tapeism and corruption. I will give you with evidence, data evidence to show how exactly red tapeism and corruption is there even in the initiation or in the installation of the file part of it. So all these things, right, these are the major challenge. How exactly to tackle all this, right? How to get the broadband connectivity for almost all the villages. So to go in this program in 2011, the program in 2011 was to lay the optical fiber, connect to the all gram panchayats. There are 2.5 lakh gram panchayats in this country. So to connect all the gram panchayats, right, 6,30,000 villages, right, connect all of them through the cable network. But even though launched in 2011 and got a major boost in 2015. And of course, all the targets are missed even now. Even now, all the targets are this, and not, all the 6,30,000 villages are not with the Digital India initiative that is with the Bharat. So these are the issues. These are the way. Why exactly it's not happening? Government is spending, but still it is not happening. The reason is again, the babus, the contractors, they are handling. So that those are the major issues. Right? Those are the major issues. Till now, I was reading a report where they were saying 1,75,000 gram panchayats now have fiber net out of this 2,50,000 gram panchayats. But the services are open only in 1,50,000 gram panchayats. So these are the issues, right? And many of them, very frequently become non-functional. So non-functional means it brings in revenue. So think, Sainath writes, everybody loves a good rod. So probably everybody loves in India the non-functional system because you can make money out of it. So these are the issues, right, which is happening in the digital India also. And at least, when it comes to the patriotism, should be at least little must there in all of us. When the initiative is for the country, at least let it not be that. So, but unfortunately, it is not happening. And major challenge with the cyber crime. There is cyber crime. Cyber crime is increasing. With each passing day, cyber crime is increasing. Because I was just checking the data. Right, in 2013, the registered cyber crime was 5,693. But whereas in 2020, it increased to 50,000 plus. So cyber crime almost every day. Many of these so-called educators, right, are creating the cyber crime. And another topic there's many initiatives around that we have to link, right? Link your bank accounts. If you utilize these services, then it's all a must. But when we do that, we also like reaching, if at all, if we can reach the good things of Bitcoin, then these things are nothing for people. Many times after I feel in order to protect our cyber security, right? Probably he will be having much better history. So these kinds of even of Bangladesh, Reserve Bank of Bangladesh, they noted cyber crime of 200 crores the last decade. So all these kinds of things, the breach of personal data, right? Breach of personal data, these are the primary concerns that and which challenges also exposed by the digital media. And digital media manipulation also be easily done. Today, we are showed, right? So all kinds of manipulations can also be done using that data, right? Using the data available on the digital media. And because majority of the population, the first time users of the digital India initiatives, soft targets. And the money they lose will also be around 5,000, 10,000. So many of them will not register, right? Register the piece. And the NCRB data, right, which gives the data on the cyber farms that National Crime Record Bureau is the one which gives us the data. It has told that more than 60% cases are because of digital India initiative, 60% rise in cyber crime. But when we say that the cyber crime is increasing, it doesn't mean that we should be we definitely want it. But what are the safety nets that we should take? Because every initiative will of course we have to separate and we have to sort out also. And highest number of cyber crimes in the states, I'll just say, which state is having the highest has reported the highest cases of cyber crimes. Karnataka is also. So many of us should be more cautious in that now. So Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh, Telangana, and in the United Territories, it's a Delhi which is leading. So such being the case, the challenges can, whenever any initiative, right, any good initiative comes, there are people, right, who wants to fail. So they come with these type of things. And of course, from the government side, there should be, they should lay the fiber optical line, BharatNet at the earliest, right, and connected to almost all the gram panchayats. See that. And one of the report was also telling me when I was just reading that report, I just read that empty pipes are leaked. empty pipes are laid without any fiber optic. Even those kinds of instances are also reported. So see that how to tap these kinds of nuisances. It's a crime against the country. To me, these are all the crimes against the country. How exactly to sort out all these issues? And of course, all of us also have a good role to play. Right, academicians are here, teachers are here, and resource research scholars are also here. We have a major role to play in the success of digital India. If each one of us, right, if each one of us at least make 10 other people who are not literate, digitally literate, as digitally literate, then probably much of this will happen. Let us have the target, right? Every month, at least one or two I will be digital illiterate, I will be making them as a digital literate. If all of us take that move and start doing it, then probably things will fall in line. Digital India will be a successful initiative. I thank Naveen and team for the initiative because it's the right time wherein policy corrections, challenges, all this has to be uh, discussed, right? Has to be discussed. Only then your policy solutions will come. See that whatever the resource person, right, the paper present, what are the best suggestions? Some 20, 25 suggestions. You can get, forward it to the Prime Minister office. Like you have a website for that, also now it's not that difficult. Earlier, I used to write inland letters to the. I remember writing to Footpathis. When I was in the college days, I used to write letters. And I used to write letters to the Prime Minister. Footpathis silent or not, also with issues. But today, it is not that difficult. You want to write and say something or want to seek clarification. So, Digital India is there to help all of us. So, let please do it. And it will be highly successful. I wish all the best for the seminar. So I once again thank Naveen and his team for organizing this seminar and Pandari sir for the initiative and support which he gives from the management. So thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing your rich source of knowledge and experience and explaining the impact and challenges of digitalization. Now, the stage is open for discussion. Hope there are no queries. Thank you. I now request Dr. Saravanan MP to introduce today's keynote speaker, Dr. Sarjan Matthew, Professor, School of Business, Alliance University.
Good morning, everyone. I'm extremely honored to introduce the keynote speaker for the day. Sarjan Matthew is a trainer, teacher, and consultant in the field of information system and e-business. Sir has graduated in engineering and followed this with master's degree in business administration, software marketing, MPhil, and doctorate in e-learning. Mr. Matthew's industrial skills include working in reputable Indian corporations such as Apollo Dice Limited and Silver Solutions, during which time he was associated with many national and international projects. He is currently working as professor, School of Business, Queen's University. Sir has authored 4 books in the areas of system analysis and design, database management system, software engineering, computer technology, and programming. These are now prescribed as textbooks in various Indian and international universities, including the Queen's University, Brighton, UK. Sir is currently working on new books in field for business informations. Dr. Matthew's publications are featured in various national and international conferences. Sir has also designed and conducted several training programs for leading professional bodies, corporations, and institutions in India. He serves on various university examination boards as a subject expert for the university's grants commission. His areas of interest include management information system, e-commerce, m-commerce, e-learning, and ERP. We are eagerly waiting for your talk, sir.
Thank you for the that's great opportunity. I know. See, we have to take it forward. Correct. Easy to say digital India, it is going to get digital. As teachers, I hope most of you are teachers or it's students. What do you do with respect to this? Correct. How do we make our kids solve some actual problems? That's a big question. It is easy. I'm seriously openly saying that it is always easy to say this, how do you convert it? How do you get something out of it? Yeah. I just optimizing the time. I will keep taking the time. Leading into the future, what is that you need to know today? I hope all of you are clear on this. Correct? What is that we should get on? Look at this now. I'm just giving one example to start with. What are the opportunities for this? Look at take one example. Look at the judicial system in our country. All of us do. I don't have to describe this, how many cases are going on in different courts. Correct? I am not saying it is all corrupt. Correct? You know how corrupt and how clean it is. How can technology come there to clean it up? What am I saying? What am I saying? I'm saying about technologies like artificial intelligence, blockchain, big data, purely implemented. I don't want to say the vendor. I can publicly say this also. There is a vendor who have given a suggestions to government of India. Correct? Yeah. All the court cases using AI, big data, blockchain, etc., can be sorted out in just 1 day's time. All the decisions which the judges have to do is based on real-time data which is happening in all the cases all around the globe. And it is taking the best of the decisions with respect to that. Can you imagine that? All the cases, the consolidated ones, the judges, irrespective of the judicial systems, the machines can do it and automate it. That is what is happening. And I'm starting it. I hope all of you are with me. Yeah, listen. Leading into the future, what is that you need to know today? I hope you are with me. There's a huge transformation which is happening, which is the digital transformation. And that is what we have to aim at. Correct? Every problem in business and daily life, if there is a solution, I hope you're getting me clear. If there is a solution, that's a digital solution. There is no other solutions. It's almost coming to that extent. I am open for questions at every stage. I hope you are with me. If there is a problem in business or in daily life, If there is a solution, that solution has to be a technology solution. That solution is using AI, big data, cloud, machine learning, blockchain. You remember, this is without blockchain. With blockchain on, it is an internet which is foolproof. Nothing can be correct. This, everything is correct. Yeah, I will come to that. I hope you understood what it is. Yeah, listen. The future is no longer just an extension of the present. That, see, we can't go to it. Correct? I hope you understood what am I saying. See, we cannot say that this is how it is. Correct? The Google CEO, the previous CEO of Google, not the Sundar Pichai, the Eric Sundar is doing a wonderful job. Eric is saying that he has no idea what the future problems and how technology is going to transform. That's the transformation which we are in. And as a country, can we exploit it? Yeah. You remember, if all the cases in India solved in 1 day's time, without the power of quantum computing, you remember there are technologies like quantum computing, 5G, and blockchain which has to be implemented. This is without that, all the cases gone in 1 day. Look at how this country will be clean. Correct? Can any politicians take any bribe? No way. Look at it. Everyone is back. Everyone is cheap. Correct? Not even cheap. You can track each one of them. That is where we are heading. And it's a wonderful opportunity. I wish some of these governments are doing it. If one government does it, Estonia is doing it, Singapore is doing it, Dubai is doing it, and they are making it clean, the others will follow it. Imagine if Bangladesh does it, the pressure on Modi to do it. That's the extent in which the country is moving. And I strongly feel what will happen. Say, I'm just connecting this dot. So I hope all of you are with me. This is 1900. Can you see this? How many cars? Yeah. 1900, there is just one car. The rest of them are horse carriage. Correct? After 13 years, you can see the same street. Yesterday parade, Easter we basically have a parade in some of these countries. After 13 years, can you see all the horses replaced with cars? Just one horse there. Within 13 years, the impact of industrial revolution was that everything replaced. That is, remember that. I hope you understood these years. Correct? And what can technology do? What can internet do? What can blockchain do? Radical. Wait and watch. This is a ball game which you have. If you have money, you bet on this. Bet on Facebook. I'm saying that they will transform. You look at people who have invested money in this tech companies few years back. Just before COVID or 1 or 2 years before COVID, put money in stocks. I should have retired by this time. That's the returns which they are basically giving. I'm not going into details, so I hope all of you are with me. This fourth industrial revolution, I'm not going into it. The first, second, third, fourth. The fourth is the exponential. Fourth is rewriting the business. Fourth is rewriting all the problems of the business. Not just the business world, the healthcare. Some of these degrees are dead and died. As Professor was saying, look at the job of a chartered. I'm seriously saying, what is the job of a chartered? Where is this people? Who wants to tally this business? Seriously, I know. I'm public in saying this one. Who? Can you imagine? Correct. I'm just taking an example which I've done it yesterday itself. Tax buddy. As you go into income tax portal, you don't need anything. You take. I just wanted to beat the system. I went to tax buddy. Correct. Yes, I uploaded my wife's data. Immediately said that it is your wife's data. Which chartered accountant is reading all these documents? Which accountant? They don't have time. Seriously. Correct? I hope you medical insurance, I basically gave my wife. She immediately understood. This is not yours. Correct? The machine is reading that PDF document and saying that you have to correct it. That is intelligence. That's what he is doing it. I said I will take this as an example. He gave 100% maybe a waiver. Correct? Hardly refused. Otherwise, I was basically look at all those years for the last 20-25 years. I'm paying this chartered accountant so much. This year, for one case, I basically paid 490. That this is the impact. This digital revolution is on fire. Correct. Unfortunately, are we exploiting it? Wait and watch. I will come to that. I hope you understood. Individual production, the basic era, the mass production. Now it is customer experience. You are browsing, you are seeing YouTube videos in some of this browser. I am paid by sitting and mining. Correct? My machine is running, it is generating money. The bitcoins are basically generated every second. Even if I am not using my computer, I am on vacation for Christmas. Correct? My the machine which I use in office is still generating income to me. Whenever I am browsing, companies which are using my data, find my traces, is paying me. These are technologies which are already there. Right? YouTube is exploiting it, Google is exploiting it, and then we it's almost there. Only few factors which needs that validity, otherwise you will be getting money. You are that wanted customer, you will get it. This is once again, this is the exponential organization. So far we have seen linear exponential. I hope you understood. Linear step, I'm just making it quantifying it. You take 30 linear steps, 30 feet. 30 steps, I will reach there. You take 30 exponential steps, 36 trips round the world. Can you imagine? Not you do this calculation. That means 1, 2, 4, 8, like that. Basically, 30. It is 26 trips around the world. That is where we are entering. I hope you understood. Yes, sir. Are you with me? I'm just moving on. Look at this is BCG, the most consulting group, one of the most wanted consulting groups. Look at their data. Can you see the data? Everything is digital. If you look at the total of the data, 99% of the volume of the data which is getting collected is digital. Not just digital, it is even connected. I picture the data points are moving. I'm just explaining it. Imagine I am getting a heat map of this audience. Correct? What is that you are looking at? Where are you looking at? Are you interested? How are you rating? All those can be connected. I can show you pictures. China is using. So this data is captured right from your brains. They put a bank. I can basically understand it is not happening. That to that extent it is happening. I'm just quantifying this volume. Can you see this? Yeah, one second. Listen, this PC, internet, social media, the platforms. Look at those platforms. You are here, 2020, 21. Exponentially, this technology is up. How do we embed that into our courses is the only question. See, I am also coming from a private university. It is easy to say, correct? Can you tell your faculties? I've been holding administrative positions at very serious level. Correct? Can you tell your faculties bring AI into the subjects which you teach? Correct? 30% of every subject should have AI. AI in finance, AI in marketing, AI in consumer behavior. That is what you have to embed. And ask the students, go figure out a problem. Correct? And figure out that problem. How do you use this emerging technologies? I know this is not a technical, artificial intelligence, IoT, big data, cloud, blockchain, quantum, correct? Into your problems. Can you bring that? Students will be able to figure it out. Don't worry, I know this is a class of 60. I tried this. Nobody is going to clear my paper unless you give me cost benefit analysis of bringing a new technology from an actual life problem. You should basically capture a real life problem, show me that video, then say that this problem has to be solved using one of these emerging technologies, show what is the cost of it, and justify that cost break even. Any kid who does this process, you sit for an interview, say this to the placement company, tell me if they are not placed, I will place. Do this process, I am guaranteeing you. For the students who is sitting here, I guarantee this. You go to Anaka, go to Vivipuram and then figure out one problem there. You capture that problem. Who is the problem? What is the problem? Why is the problem? You quantify it. I have created almost I'm trying to not sell this templates, make this template popular. If the faculty use this, then they are basically solving real life problems. The entire country wants solutions. That is what this digital India basically. I'm just connecting this. This is the benefit of it. Life expectancy more than double. We've been hearing from several speakers here. Correct. All these parts have been well explained by my previous speakers. Both of you, in fact, have done a good job in structuring that. I see 30,000 times faster than 1960s. Can you imagine? 30,000 times faster. Correct. This is without the quantum computing. With the quantum computing, everything in one shot. I don't say you will ever see a backlog of any computing process problems. Like you see the problems in processing. Say for electronic class, the electronic city flyover, you see that I sometimes laugh at. Correct. Have you seen go to Dubai, US? These are countries in which this has been implemented. One to many. How many cars? What speed you drive, the toll is collected. You go there like this, half an hour, you wait for the queues. All the highway. So tomorrow I'm driving. You see, go to Kerala, don't leave before 5:30. God, all the toll, it is half an hour each. What is this government doing? You look at constructive criticism. They should have upgraded this system. That did. Easy to say digital India. Can you upgrade it? Is that a problem for business? As teachers, we should say that. I know digitizing it, you have hardly peanuts. Improving a better components, computing systems there in each of this one. It's so simple. So simple. It's not. Put it into the cloud, you can find out how many times dynamic pricing also. Why fixed pricing there? Every problem has digital solutions. That is what you have to explain. I have few more minutes. I'll come to that. I hope you can see this slide. This is again taken from Deloitte Press, in fact. I'm full credit to that. Technology is changing like this exponentially. I was saying about this exponential change. So far, it was linear. Nothing happened. And nothing is happening also seriously. Now it is exponential. Don't play with it. Universities, it is not the Stanford and the Berkeley which will grow. Seriously. I doubt IIMs will be in that category. Correct? If a smart Jain can do it, Jain will throw out the others. Nobody will look at the tag. Correct? Do you have faculties who can convert it? Correct? This is how exponentially technology is moving. Business productivity is so low. It is improving, but it is marginally improving. But look at it. I have mapped this with the share price of the companies which is including technology into the business processes. Yes. Anyone who is saying tech is ruling. Look at Siroma. You know, the platform. 1 lakh crores, much more after the listing, is much bigger than Indian Oil. Can you imagine? Indian Oil is, the valuation is like that. Much bigger than even Tata Motors, not leave public sector. That is what is happening. They are valuing it every night, each one of them. This is an age where technology, the gap is so huge. Who is able to fill the gap is a winner. Not just these. Then continuation of what I've been saying. Technology, individuals are good at picking it. Business is slow, really catching up. But the government, the public policies is way behind. When are you going to close it? Yeah. If there is a chief, and politically, some parties have to take a strong stand. Yeah. Whoever does that, I don't think collectively they will do it. Some of them have to do it. Some countries are doing it. Correct? The funds will flow. Look at the recent flow of Indian stock markets. Correct? Very strongly equated. No? The countries are watching. Look at what will happen to China if they basically don't do it. Data is the new oil. Everybody is saying that. I hope you know this. And artificial intelligence is the new electricity. This is almost like a thesis. This statement, ask the students to justify this statement from a problem which they have found. Correct? I hope as faculties we can easily make them do it. We don't have to know this technologies. I don't know all this technologies. Some broad background of technologies you should know it. Ask them to figure it out. They will come and teach. They will come and teach. They are not putting new body of knowledge in the class. They are not fitting up to score. Say, live. Then they will go and figure it out. Enough examples. IoT. Can you bring IoT into the problems which you are solving it? As faculties, we don't have to know what is IoT, you should know what is IoT and how it works. That is it. Spend some half an hour in YouTube, you will basically understand. Correct. That is it. Can IoT be used to improve, optimize productions? Tell this to kids. They will go read. They will see videos. Give them assignments like that. That is challenging. Correct. We also have to think. Correct. And we give them. It will work wonders. I have seen this. Seriously. I'm not just boasting about what I am doing. Give it to a class of 50. Not all of them will be excited. 20 of them do. 20 will be picked. That is guaranteed. The rest 30 will go into the dead-end jobs of in the software industries. No? Yeah, I hope you understood. No? Dirty jobs of the software industries. They will be happy to do this with the great designations and the great campuses. They will be happy. The other kids will try. They are designing the business. Correct? They speak this from the campuses. That is what we should want. That is what the change. The change is wonderful. Digitization, digitalization, and digital transformation. Getting it? Correct? 0 to 1, the first part, using the digitizations to optimize it and then transform. Which level are you basically applying? Correct? I will close it. In fact, and it goes on. There is a huge disruption. Blockchain is the one which is blockchain will transform. Once again, I'm just saying, what is blockchain? Who records who owns what and when? Can you have a foolproof system where every data is captured? Who owns what, when, and where? The world is clean, country is clean, country is efficient. Then things will change. Then things will change. That is what we are basically doing. I'm just cutting short some of the slides and moving on very fast. In fact, look at it. I have to connect to this. This is taken from editing. Look at this revolution. 1, 2, 3, 4 revolution. Usually this revolution will last for 50 years. Can you see this? 40 to 50 years, this revolution. The ICT revolution seriously started after the internet 2010. This revolution will stay if you listen to the best of the investment bankers. My understanding is that it will last for 30, 40 years. Nothing will come on top before that to replace. Seriously, I'm saying this. For the last 20, 25 years when I'm teaching, I've been saying this in the class and asking kids to get on this. Correct? Even before this. This is transformed. And you will see the benefits. That is why you see India's GDP is also what percentage is from the IT. Audit knows it very clearly. Our politicians knows this. Correct? You look at US, look at China. What is the valuation? It is all based on the tech companies. Tech companies are only, I'll show you these numbers. You see 2017 numbers. Top 5, 6 companies, Apple, Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook. None of them is physical. Getting it? You look at the 1970s, only steel, automobile, traditional companies. I don't think into this list of companies, never ever a traditional company, oil company. Yes. Cannot. And even if IBM was there in 1967, it is nowhere. Correct? Say, correct? Let me close this. I hope you understood. Look at the valuations in 2020. 10 companies. Apple, Aramco, oil rich. Correct? But Aramco wants to go behind Jio. Why is Jio Reliance? Why is it? Because it's a tech. The way Ambanis are not making them close. Correct? Why is Jio so rich? Because Reliance so rich because of the Jio part, because of the tech component, nothing because of the oil. He knows. And have you seen Mukesh speaking? Mukesh is speaking more tech. All the business leaders listen to them. All of them speak tech. If you see, correct, I sit for a faculty selection now. We go around the country. Unless you speak that, my only question is that how is AI going to replace the subject? If you can't answer that, why? That's it. You can't teach. Our kids are smart enough to basically challenge. How is AI going to change industry? You may be teaching investment banking for years to go. No, which are the tech companies? This applies to medical school. This applies to law school. Unfortunately, I have never seen a law school which is having a tech good thing. AI in technology, no, hardly. Are they given the freedom? They can. They don't. They will never allow. Sorry, this is a fact. So seriously, all this. I am just cutting. So I just have to watch on. There are a lot of applications of whatever. China's classrooms, you should say. I'll show you a small clip. One second. If the time permits, yeah, one second.
Once upon a time, business as usual was often good enough. No more. Where we are going,
I am also on the thread. Who knows? Sophia the robot will be 24 hours. Why should will arrange pay me after 5 years? I doubt. Seriously. And that is a question left for each one of us. This is a job which cannot stay. Any subject it can be at any level. It will customize it one to one. If 100 students are there, it will customize it based on the avatars will come in different formats and basically come. That serious threat. Which are the jobs? There is a World Economic Forum job report. I am very clearly saying it. These are very important. I can show you World Economic Forum job report. See which are the jobs that have to be replaced. Drivers, accountants, second is accountants.
good enough. Dead. In a world where everything is connected, where everything is equally excellent, where performance is reaching perfection, there's only one space left to move. Right now, you are a simple point in a raging tornado of change fueled by digitization, mobilization, augmentation, disintermediation, automation, while the list goes on. Science fiction is becoming science fact. Think about self-driving cars or computers that can learn and think. The way we work will never be the same. The skills we need will be dramatically different. Winning or losing are now happening faster than ever before. So what's your response? How will you discover new opportunities in one of the most transformational times in human history? Are you driving change or are you being driven by it? Disruption has become the new normal. With change, it's always gradually, then suddenly, well, things really have stopped happening gradually. This change is exponential. Everything that needs to be done when disconnected is not wired and intelligent. Cars, cities, ports, farms, even our bodies will be wired with sensors and will talk to each other. These game changers are also combinatorial. They amplify each other, creating a perfect storm of change. Quantum computing fuels big data. The Internet of Things fuels artificial intelligence and deep learning, which fuels robotics. However, anything that cannot be digitized or automated will become extremely valuable. Human-only traits such as creativity, imagination, intuition, emotion, and ethics will be even more important in the future because machines are learning to simulate, but not being. Yes, robots and software will do some of our work, but this will allow us to focus on things that cannot be altered. To imagine change squared, you've got to start engaging more with what might be, not just on what is. Immerse yourself in the immediate future, 5 to 7 years out.
Are you clear on this one? What might be? Ask teachers what is that we can do. Seriously, try this out. I'm ready to basically come and speak on this. I'm not looking at anything else. Correct. Make the society a much better place. Correct. It worked well and not easy to do it in the first cycle, the second cycle, third cycle. I don't need it. Ask the students to basically say what are the emerging technologies. You have to give some introduction, say that these technologies are basically. That you don't have to say any kids, they know this much better than we know. Correct. And I'm doing a class. Invariably, I get 2 or 3 students who can beat me in what I say. The only stuff is that as a teacher, be humble enough to accept that. And correct, or it may not be a student, it can be a junior. I am a junior in my department. Who is teaching me now? Correct. I may be at some stages, I may be the dean, but I have to learn from him. I have to learn from students. Ask them to bring technologies into the subjects. Figure out how this is solved. Or just put one more question back to you. Tell me the problems which we are solving inside our classrooms, or the cases which we are discussing, or the discussions which we do in the class. Is it still relevant? In the business world, is this how the business problems are solved? Correct? Ask them. Correct? You ask the industry people. This has nothing to do with what it is. All tech. It is all. It's a fact. Accept it. Get used to it. Get married to that. Convince that our job is done. Your course is normal. Correct? You will have resistance. You first time you teach it, your rating may come down. Correct? The HOD or the area chair or your dean will call, what is happening in your subject? Correct? First time I wrote digital transformation, I don't know what is digital transformation. Correct? I have to learn. Whereas I take a traditional MIS class and go and do this funda again and again for the third, fourth, fifth time, etc. Wonderful classes. Students say you are great. I am great. Everybody is great. Students feels I have a note. I have PPD. Correct. I give supplements. What did you do? Correct. Dead end stuff. Correct. This is challenge. That challenge you have to take it. At some stage, someone will be noticing it, and even at least not here, there. Correct. Do that. Seriously.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the insightful presentation. May I now request Professor Pushpa M to introduce Sri Ravindra Bhandari, Vice Principal, Jain Group of Institutions.
True leaders always practice the 3 R's: respect for self, respect for others, responsibility for all their actions. Sri Ravindra Bhandari sir is the Vice President of Jain Group of Institutions. Under his leadership, Jain University has a NAAC rating of A++, which is highest in the entire country. Sir graduated from the University of Agricultural Sciences and started his career with Canara Bank as Agriculture Extension Officer. He has a rich experience, more than 3 decades, in various aspects of banking. Bank has deputed him to more than 12 countries on an exposure visit. Under his dynamic leadership, the bank has become #1 in terms of total business in the entire state of Karnataka. Recently, he has been honored with Distinguished Alumni Award by Alumni Association of University of Agricultural Sciences as a recognition for his exemplary contribution. Under rural development and CSR initiatives also. He encourages strategic thinking, innovation, and is an action-oriented personality. It is an honor to have you as a host.
Dr. Keshavji, Dr. Satyanji, Madam, Dr. Maniji, and all my faculty colleagues, other participants, both physically present here as well as who are watching virtually. Good afternoon to all of you. I'm extremely happy to be part of this national conference. I'm extremely thankful to Dr. Naveen as well as his team for having given me an opportunity to be here. I asked Naveen when he called me that, sir, you have to come for this program. I asked him, what is the program? He said, it's a national conference. He was delighted. Very big conference. So I should be ready. Then I asked him, how long you are working for managing this conference? He said, sir, for the last 3 months. I asked how many people, more than 10 people were in this national conference. Then I thought, when they are working for 3 months with that many number of people, and I go for the program, I should take at least 1.5 hours. So I was preparing myself for the last 1 week. Today, yes, because disappointed me by calling so many speakers. They were very depth in their subject, and particularly this subject. I don't think they have left anything for me. Thank you for the time taken of mine also. Yeah. We in Jain University, we are not only part of the best of the best education. We are conducting such activities for the benefit of other participants, other colleges, other institutions, and also for the benefit of society. So I request Naveenji to take it forward, have at least one in one every quarter, such type of national conference or international conference, so that it will benefit everyone. Friends, yes, today's topic is very relevant. I must congratulate and appreciate both Dr. Naveenji as well as his team for having selected such a very relevant topic and this conference is for 2 years. Digital India, everyone has spoken about the English speakers have spoken about Digital India. Yes, I have seen through my own eyes how Digital India has transformed the Indian economy and also Indian. I mean, it's beneficial to every citizen of this country. To quote a small example, which I have seen or have gone through that. For example, through this Digital India, you know that is coming out of welfare schemes, both central as well as state. And there used to be who had tried in implementation of these things. For example, DBT, if the government wants to transfer some amount to the beneficiaries directly, earlier it was who had tried. The government used to say that we have released 1 crore for 1.5 crores beneficiaries. But we, the bankers, we used to find it very difficult because we never used to receive the money, though the instruction comes up maybe one or 2 days or 3 days in advance. But in the bank branches, you know, customers they used to get the information, and there used to be long queue in every in front of every branches to get that money. But the money used to come, it used to take its own time to come. Maybe for manual intervention, maybe for so many other reasons. But today, you see, with the press of button, if they say that this much of the amount has dispersed to this many number of crores of beneficiaries, it is to instantly credited to the accounts of the beneficiaries. You can just imagine the benefits of this digital or digitalization. That has helped the common people, as the speakers were telling, Madam was rightly telling, that see, there used to be a lot of loopholes and there used to be a lot of deliberate in getting the benefits from the government schemes. But today it is not. Today, it's even earlier, the beneficiaries, if they want to take the benefit of the government scheme, they have to go to the bank. One day they have to lose their job. They have to wait hours together in the banks to get that the benefits. But today it is not like that. Everything will be transferred to their account. Almost all the beneficiaries, all the citizens are having access to the banks. So that is the benefit of digital India today. It has really transformed the Indian economy, I can say. And not only that, it has become a revolution. This certain things about how industrial revolution has happened, how green revolution has happened. More than that, in a very short span of time, the IoT, the ICT transformation has happened, which we are seeing today. I was my own experience. I was heading this Bangalore circle of Canara Bank. We have almost 200 branches in Bangalore city alone. There used to be around 4 to 5 lakh transactions per day, and you can just imagine handling manually all these transactions. And because all these customers used to come to the bank branches of 200 bank branches, almost 4 lakh transactions per day. So how much rush used to be there in the branches and all. When the digitization started, when this technology has come to the banking, what we did, I will tell you, we have, I think, in the span of around 3 to 4 years, we have installed almost 850 ATMs in Bangalore. And with that, today, if you see any of the branches, that is not any rush at all. Not even 10% of the customers are coming to the bank to take the services of the bank. Everyone will be operating through the technology. Sitting in the house, they do all the transactions without any waste of time, without any, no hurry and no hurry at all. If there is a time, they can do that. This is what the digital India or digitization has helped. Like that, for example, now that I am in the education institution, I have joined this education institution I am in the system for the last 3 years. I was illiterate for the education institution, but the digitalization has promoted me, or it has made me literate in just a span of 2-3 years. Now I can talk about AI, I can talk about ML, or I can talk about robotics, I can talk about anything about the education. So this is the power of digitization. So it has really brought a total transformation in the Indian economy. I am sure that, as the article shows, that most of the developed countries today, it has developed mainly because of the digitization. So India is also on the path for the digitization. I hope that now almost 78% of things have been digitized in every field, whether it is in the product, whether it is in the process, whether it is in the service. So definitely with the digitization, India is going to reach the great height. So I am extremely thankful to Naveen ji and his team for having arranged this national conference. I am quite sure that there are good number of scholars, the students. Definitely, you will take the best use of this 2 days conference, and my best wishes to every one of you. Thank you very much, and I am really honored in the presence of so eminent speakers for this today's national conference. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for always being our support system in all the academic activities. We are now going to felicitate all the dignitaries on the stage as a token of our gratitude. I request our dignitaries to felicitate Dr. S.R. Keshava, Thank you. May I now request our dignitaries to felicitate Dr. Sajal Matthew. Professor K. N. Godamani. I request Professor Pushpa M. to join the stage. Thank you. May I now request our dignitaries to felicitate Dr. Sajal Matthew. May I now request our dignitaries to felicitate Sri Ravindra Bhandari. Yes. Thank you all. I request our principal to give conference memento to Sri Ravindra Bhandari. Yes, thank you. Before we conclude, here is a short video which reflects multifacets of Jain College. I request technical team to screen the video. Thank you, technical team. As we have reached end of inaugural program, I request Professor Afia Sultana to propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Joy is the simplest form of gratitude. Good afternoon, one and all present here. I deem it a privilege to render the vote of thanks. First of all, I thank the Almighty with whose blessings the event was successful. I would like to thank Dr. Chanraj Barjan, Jain deemed to be University, and founder chairman, Jain Group of Institutions in absentia. I would like to thank Sri Ravindra Bharati, President, Jain Group of Institutions, Dr. R. Sundarajan, Chancellor, Jain deemed to be University in absentia, Dr. Ishwaran Iyer, Vice Chancellor, Jain deemed to be University, for all the support and guidance in absentia. I express my heartfelt gratitude to the chief guest of the day, Dr. S.R. Keshava, Professor of Economics, PUP Chairperson, BOS, BCU Bengaluru. Thank you, sir, for providing us the rich insight on the digital infrastructure, digital literacy, and also the importance of digital literacy. Thank you, sir. I also thank you. I also give a special thanks to Dr. Sarjan Matthew, Professor, School of Business, Alliance University, for his keynote address. Thank you, sir, for sharing us the insight about the digital transformation and also giving us the information about the 4 revolutions. Thank you, sir. I thank the special guest of honor, Professor K.N. Godamani, former Academic Council member, Bengaluru City University. Ma'am, thank you for sharing the valuable information how the infrastructure is very much important, the digital infrastructure. Sir M.S. Santosh, Joint Registrar, Jain deemed to be University in absentia. I thank Dr. Nagraj, Principal, PU College, Vivepuram, for gracing us with this auspicious occasion. Thank you, sir. He is a pillar of strength, always approachable, and a capable leader. Without whose support, this conference would have not been. Our principal, Dr. Naveen Kumar Silan, Principal, Jain College, Vivepuram. Thank you, sir. An event of this magnitude requires meticulous planning and careful execution, and the people who ensured that this conference was flawlessly executed, the program coordinators, Dr. Arjuna Ambedkar, HOD, PG Department, Dr. Pradeep G, Associate Professor, PG Department. Thank you, coordinators. The brain behind the execution of conference is the convener, Dr. Prasad HK, Associate Professor, PG Department, who took care of every minute, details, and delivered this successful conference. Thank you, Prasad, sir. I extend my gratitude to all my colleagues, non-teaching staff, students from Department of UG and PG for their cooperation. I also place the record on the interest and enthusiasm shown by our August gathering today and hope they continue their active participation throughout the conference. Once again, I thank you all for patience and attention. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. This is to the attention of all the participants. Presentation takes place in different rooms. I request Dr. Pradeep Ji to give information on different tracks.
Good afternoon. Here is the information on the presentation of your papers in different tracks. The faculty in charge and the jury members. This is for your kind attention, please. Track number 1, Dr. Raja KR will be the jury member. And faculty in charge is Dr. Patil. Student in charge is Darshan B, and will be assembling in room number 401. And track number 2, Dr. Satyanarayana S, Principal, Imperial Institute of Management. Faculty in charge is Shweta. Student in charge is Meena. They'll all be assembling in room number 402. And the third track, the jury member is Dr. Satyanarayana. And faculty in charge is Madhu. Technical assistants will be from student PG, student Lavanya. So they'll be in room number 406. Track number 4, Dr. Deepak is a jury, assisted by Shobita Madam, and technical assistants by Kiran S. They'll be in room number 407. And track number 5, Dr. Raghavendra will be the jury, supported by faculty Muhammad Farooq, and the technical assistance will be given by student Kiran. They'll be room number 408. And all of you are going to assemble post-lunch in room in the rooms. And here the technical sessions will go on. Thank you, Anna.
The lunch is being served outside the conference hall. Please finish and resume back to the respective rooms. I wish all the participants all the best. Thank you.
Hello participants, good afternoon one and all. So very soon, shortly we'll be sharing the Zoom links of each track on the conference WhatsApp group. Please follow up over there, and we have already shared the Excel sheet of all the tracks. So please look into your track and enter the Zoom link. Okay, we will share all the Zoom links on the conference group. Thank you.